I just got finished watching the Prince Harry interview with the BBC. And of course, Harry had to talk about this issue because if there's anything that Harry likes to do, it's talk about anything that's problematic in his life. And one thing happened today that is seriously problematic for Prince Harry. Prince Harry was told no to the funding of private security forever. That's right. Prince Harry wanted to be a royal, but he wanted to be a royal on his own terms.
What the court decided today was that they were justified for 4 reasons to not have that review. And a major part of that is because you're no longer a working royal, a change in your status. Do you not accept that from the court?
Well, my status hasn't changed. It can't change. I am who I am. I am part of what I'm part of, and I can never escape that. My circumstances will always be the same. But with
Harry wanted the royal family to foot the bill for his security, not just for himself, apparently, because he's a married man. He's married to Meghan Markle and, has 2 children, Archie and Lilibeth, and needs this security permanently. He has this idea because, he's a prince after all.
You're obviously very deeply affected by this. What memories, experiences had you hoped your children, Archie and Lilibet, would have had that you think they won't be able to now with this decision?
Well, for a start, the only time that I've come back to the UK is sadly for funerals or court cases, with the odd charitable function where I can in between that. I put myself at risk for that, but I will continue on with a life of public service, so I will always support the charities and the people that mean so much to me. I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point. And the things that they're going to miss is, well, everything.
He is a prince that is not working for the firm. He is no longer a working royal, and that's the problem at hand. So Harry's over here acting like he is he's still a part of the royal family in the sense that he's serving the royal family because he's Prince Harry. Acting like the royal family has cut up all your Amex cards, your gold card, and left you outside of Buckingham Palace with no Uber ride, and you're just like some homeless guy. It feels very whiny. It feels very much like somebody who is upset that they didn't get their way. Here's Harry's biggest contention with this, is that everyone else who leaves gets security. That's his major push. A public figure like him, especially a prince, gets this private security. But they didn't drop a Netflix docuseries. They didn't write a 300-page memoir. They didn't give Oprah, the queen of tea, all the tea and a slice of lemon wedge in the tea.
That everybody else gets, but I haven't, never been given since back end of 2019 was the last one that I was given. The whole point of that is to have a board and a risk assessment, a separate board from RABEC that considers all of the facts and all the circumstances. It is a system and an assessment that is designed to be non-biased and to avoid interference. What I know throughout this legal process is the interference that was created came from the royal household.
What Harry really wanted, in my opinion, was the royal status without the royal responsibilities. He wanted to be able to walk off the job and still get the benefits. Harry treats being a prince like if they could create a show, it would be called HRH Meets the Real World, Montecito edition. Like Prince, he just feels very reality show. I'm gonna bring up something important, the wedding. I think back to the wedding of Meghan Markle and Harry, and the only thing I remember about that wedding, and I remember it like it was yesterday, is that everyone was excited. A mixed race woman entering the royal family, a cultural reset. That's what it felt like. People woke up at dawn to watch this wedding. And Meghan and Harry, they took a wrecking ball to the goodwill. They had such positive press. And no one is questioning where did things go wrong. After the wedding, which was beautiful, I might add, right? There was all of a sudden this talk, this rumor mill going of this contention between Meghan and Princess Catherine. There was this bucking of heads, so to speak. Kate versus Meghan was everywhere. It was giving Real Housewives of Kensington. And let's not forget Harry's memoir, aka the diary of the rich, angry little brother. My brother pushed me. My stepmother is cold. Like, join the club, Harry. Every sibling has beef. Most people just text their group chat, not Penguin, Random House, or some huge publishing company. The reason I'm bringing up Meghan and Catherine is and this is you guys could comment below. My feeling is that you have two very beautiful women. Catherine, Kate Middleton, who had been playing it safe for years to get into that family, got in. She's the princess everybody loves, the princess that was waiting for years to get married. She did her part. Now she has all this attention on her. She's the one, you'll see the pictures of Princess Catherine with the two boys always chasing behind her. She loved that solitude. And then, cha-la-la, here comes Meghan Markle. Beautiful as ever, gorgeous briefcase girl, Suits actress. We've all seen the Suits scenes that are steamy. Meghan Markle is a hot girl. And you got Kate now feeling probably threatened, this is just in my dream head, this is how I think it went down. And all of a sudden it was like, I don't like her. I don't like her. And behind the scenes, I guarantee you it was a lot of that. And that's why the Royal Rota decided to push out all the negative press on Meghan Markle. Maybe she was a bit of a diva. Who isn't a diva on their wedding day? Who isn't wanting it to be perfect in every sense of the word? Every woman that gets married wants it to be about them. And I guarantee you, there were some bucking of heads between these guys. So I think that is where the contention starts. And because Catherine will never say anything, she will be tight-lipped because, you don't talk when you're in the royal family. It's all going to be playing out in her head, like what could have possibly went awry. But all of that aside, let's point out the fact that on Meghan Markle's wedding day, there was only her mother. No cousins, no friends. I mean, yeah, one or two friends, the Maroney lady that was her, I don't know, she's a bridesmaid. You guys know the deal. It wasn't a lot of people. Meghan did not have anyone on her side of the aisle. So if you really think about it, that already painted a picture of like, is this girl normal? Like, for me anyhow, it did. Because if I went to a wedding and my friend invited me and I'm the only friend, I'd be a little concerned. Now, back to Prince Harry and his argument for security. He says, I didn't ask to be born a prince. Cool, Harry. None of us asked for your book either. But here we are. Harry keeps saying he left for peace. But then he went on a worldwide press tour. It was a press tour about how miserable he is. If this is peace, I don't know. I'm terrified to know what war looks like. As for Meghan, some people say, and this is just what I believe, as well as some people, Princess Meghan, I'm going to say Duchess of Sussex, Princess Meghan, I think she secretly, deep down inside, wanted William. But she settled for the spare. And now, deep down inside, she can't stand seeing Kate thriving in a role that she'll never have. She really, I believe, wanted Prince William. This is just an opinion. Now, Harry's out here demanding perks from the royal system. He publicly dragged. Like, Harry, please, you nuked the bridge, and now you're asking if there's still a walkway. Let's also talk about Meghan's dad. If you're not even cool with your own father, how are you beefing with the whole entire monarchy and still expecting hugs and paychecks? At this point, King Charles finally did what every parent dreams of doing: cutting up the royal credit card, Securtiy. Pay for it yourself, big guy. You're not 22 in Vegas anymore. You're not, playing strip pool and dodging tabloids. You are a fully grown man with your own family. You have Netflix money now. Go figure it out. You can't call your family a racist, trash them in front of the world, and then turn around and say, where is my royal escort? Actions have consequences, even for ginger ex-princes. And all the drama, the attention, That's why the Sussexes keep dropping podcast flops, docuseries, interviews. It's because deep down inside, they didn't want out of the spotlight. They didn't. They just wanted to control the lighting. And kudos to King Charles for finally saying no more. This is not a dig at Harry. I totally understand the side he's saying that he feels like it's a very dangerous situation for him and his wife because there's a lot of hate out there and there's a lot of bad actors. But it's not up to the taxpayers' dollars. And it's the same reason I stand firmly behind the belief that the same way they're treating Prince Harry, they should treat Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew shouldn't have security detail. He shouldn't have any of it. Okay? But of course, they will make concessions for him because when have you ever heard Prince Andrew going out and bad-mouthing the royal family? I think people still forget this is an institution. It's a firm. I liken it to the being in the circle of trust from the movie Meet the Fockers, right? You're either in the circle of trust or you're outside the circle of trust. Harry has decided to put him and his entire family outside the circle of trust. And I will leave you with this. Harry is a person of victimhood. He's a person that never wants to take accountability for anything he has done. This part really took me for a ride, and you've got to watch this because I'm going to explain why after.
I think your relationship has changed with the UK. Do you feel let down by your country?
At this point, I'm feeling very let down. That's hard to forgive. Things that have happened that I can now forgive. I've moved past that. I can forgive my family's involvement, my father, my brother, and my stepmother. I can forgive the press to a large extent as well for so many things that have happened. What I'm struggling to forgive, and what I will probably always struggle to forgive, is that a decision that was made in 2020 that affects my every single day, and that is knowingly putting me and my family in harm's way. Everybody knew that they were putting us at risk in 2020, and they hoped that me knowing that risk would force us to come back. But then when you realize that that didn't work, do you not want to just keep us safe? Whether you're the government, whether you're the royal household, whether you're my dad, my family, despite all of our differences, do you not want to just ensure our safety? And I'm also asking for an R&B assessment.
So you saw what he said. Pay attention to what he said. I can forgive them. I can forgive my dad, my stepmother, my brother. He could forgive people. Guess why that is a no-no? I actually thought of doing a video about this, and I'm shocked I haven't posted it yet. But people who ask for forgiveness will tell you it is harder to accept forgiveness than it is to ask. Here's why. When you are saying to somebody, call a friend up right now and just say, I forgive you. They're going to look at you and say, for what? Especially an ex. Can you imagine calling an ex and saying, I forgive you? They're going to say, what do you forgive me for? You're the one that broke my heart. You're the one that did X, Y, and Z. What am I being forgiven? People do not like that. Okay? Because they're going to be like, this is implying that you think I have something to be forgiven for. Harry saying on national TV, I forgive them, is such a slap in the face. No, Harry. Harry, this is bad. Who are these people's publicists? Humility is lacking from his family. Let me tell you why. A humble person will quickly say, I want to be forgiven. That's all I ask. I know I've done some bad things. I know I've badmouthed my family, and I know I've said things that are hurtful. I would ask deeply for forgiveness from my father, and Meghan does the same with her dad. They don't have a perfect relationship, but we want closure. We don't even care at this point if you let us back in. We just want closure. We want peace between you guys and us. We want to know that if we die, there's no tension, there's no bad blood, and we love you. That's the message I would give my dad. I wouldn't even ask my dad I wouldn't even blame this. He's still blaming his dad. And
who specifically do you think is trying to punish you?
I don't. Now I know that it was, Securtiy was used as leverage There is a lot of control and ability in my father's hands. Ultimately, this whole thing could be resolved through him, by intervening, but by stepping aside, allowing the...
He's still blaming his dad and saying, my dad could do something about it. That's like putting the onus on his dad and saying, I own no responsibility in the fact that I decided to walk away and do all of these things to hurt my family, but I'm going to throw it back to your court. You guys, you can accept my forgiveness. What the hell are you talking about? Not saying that the royal family is good. By no means. I don't even like the royal family. I think the monarchy should be gone. But obviously my British viewers would think otherwise. But I purposely think there's no use for the monarchy. But a lot of people disagree. The fact remains is Harry knows the importance of the monarchy to British people. He knows that the people in the UK love their royal family, a lot of them. And to say that undermines the institution, it could actually put it in a state where it's actually now, I think it actually did a lot of harm, because people do view the royals now as racists. They view them as, look at them. They threw the only mixed skin girl out of the family, and they probably wanted that all along. You have to understand how the optics of things look. And people could say all the bullshit they want about, I defend Meghan, I defend Harry, defend. Nobody gives a shit. The fact remains is public perception is there, and there will be people that will perceive them a certain way, and they have the opportunity to fix it, but they refuse. They absolutely refuse. You could tell just from the way he's talking that he has no accountability, no ability to look inside and say, I've done horrible things as well, and I would ask for forgiveness. So at the end of the day, Harry's doing all of this to himself. And I actually feel like Meghan Markle's the one cracking that whip, honey, saying, you better stay strong, Ginger. You better get out there and explain to the fact that this is so bad and this is so racist and this is so horrible. We're going to fight this because this is wrong what they're doing to us. We deserve around the clock. We deserve all the security in the world. And by the way, the other thing I want to mention is this is not saying they won't get security at all. This is saying that the security, if they come to the UK by themselves and no one has invited them to the UK, then it's on them. But if at the behest of the king or whoever's in charge over there, they welcome and say, we want Harry to come and the kids and Meghan, we will provide around the clock. We'll provide security, top detail, all that. It's not just the security, it's the type of security that Harry's fighting for. He's saying, yeah, I can only provide so much private security. But good Lord, how many of us citizens out here have any security? I know people with such bad situations and they have no security. Harry has flown already many of times and no one has attacked him. No one's chasing him. No one cares. Meghan's been out and about many of times. No one cares. I think they have way too much confidence in the fact that people are hounding them. But I mean, they obviously have their own reasoning behind why they feel something would happen bad to them if they go to the UK. You UK people out there, please chime in and let us know. Are they at risk if they come to the UK? Because I personally don't see anyone caring two F's about these people here in the United States, at least not to that extent to go chase them down or be harassing them. There's bigger celebrities than them on this planet. And those people are not like, I need to go beg for security from my this, that, the other. No, they pay for their private security. That's what working is for. That's what it means to go out and have a working job and not be an entitled prince. Is you have to go find a way to make ends meet and actually provide the security as a public person. You did that. No one did it to you. You did that. Queen Elizabeth was trying to warn them because it's going to be hard. But they did it. They left. No one forced them. They left. I'm not saying they should have stayed and tortured themselves to death, but there are consequences for actions. Anyways, you guys, please drop a comment. Tell me how you feel. I thought it's just nonsense as usual. I'm telling you, I would be able to fix their image really fast because they both have an opportunity, but they refuse to do the right thing. And Lord knows I'm not going to go into details of how they could do this and the strategies and tactics I would use. But there are ways to get them back into good grace with pretty much everyone. right back to day one. And it's not gonna happen the way they're doing it. Have a great day, think for yourself. If you enjoyed this content today, or you just like these type of conversations, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I do respond to as many comments as possible. Remember, as always, think for yourself and have a great day.